Today, we're gonna be going old school and doing a whole get ready with me. Have it look like this by the time we're done. All right, so I've been doing things a little differently. Today's makeup is going to be my personal, like when I'm going out or doing things or recording a video type of look, which isn't drastically different than my everyday, but add some extra items in. I add a little bit of contouring in, I add more lip, I add a little bit darker of an eye. So I went back to using this. This is from Laura Mercier. It's a cream contour palette. You can use any type of contour that works for you. There are so many cream ones out there. I am just trying to, I've gotten to a point where I'm trying not to buy new products, especially if I have something already there. And so I have been playing with this again and just kind of, getting back to playing different ways with different things. Now I know this looks totally crazy and it's going to look crazy for a while. So let's talk about this. First is I take a, what is this? Concealer brush, and I'm going to use that to work all of this in. And I start in the areas that are the ones that I don't care about having as dark. The one I want the darkest is right through here, because that one is the one that gives me that contour chiseled look. Now I do bring it up and connect it, but I like this because it's keeping it right where I want it. It's not making it too blurred out. So I'm just trying to keep it in the area I want it in. I just want a little bit of contour, and you might be looking at that going, a little bit of contour? That's a lot of contour. But here's the thing with this. Yes, it looks like a lot of contour right now. It will not when I am done with it. So then I have gone back to this beauty. I have tried a couple, so I'm gonna kind of talk you through a little bit of a haul too. I had picked this up. I love, when I am paler like I am now, I love a bright pink blush. And I've always loved this Beauty Blender one called Cheeky Pink. I had seen someone talking about this. It's the one size, it's the Patrick Ta. It's almost a little bit, wrong side, too icy for my skin tone. I keep playing with it. I haven't made it work yet. Now with this, I take a bigger kind of, it's a IT Cosmetics, I think it was a foundation brush. And I'm going to start right on the apples. I'm doing this on both sides. Now I have found as I am getting older that I do better with two things. One, bringing it forward more. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I bring it up, and I also go closer. The bottom of that just fell off. I'll have to glue that back on. Oh, I should probably use that to blend in. All right, so I'm bringing that up, my hair, and I'm blending it a little bit. Blending is a loose term, with that contour, okay? So you can see it in there, and you might be, and I'm gonna bring some right up at the top of my forehead. It just works good with my pink undertone skin. Then I'm gonna take my Chanel Less Beige foundation. As I mentioned, I do about 2.5, 3 pumps. A beauty blender, any type. I think this one is just from Amazon maybe. Now I'm gonna take that in the area that are my lighter areas, more my highlighted areas. And it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna go down my neck a little bit. I could do contour under my jawline too, but something about that when I'm paler doesn't always work. Now, I'm taking this up on my forehead. I do a little bit over my eyes. It's personal choice. It's just what's left on there. And then I'm gonna go up over this contour into my hairline, really blend it in, make sure it goes towards my ears. And then whatever is left, I go over that pink and that brown on the cheeks. So you can still see that through it. It gives a good base to it. Now I had a little bit left, so I probably only needed 2.5 pumps. I think the hard part for me is getting used to not needing as much foundation doing it this way. Then we're gonna go in and do eyeshadow. And I have been using this. I had originally, it's kind of funny, this is new to me. It's Tom Ford. It is the Eye Color Quad in, oh gosh, Salacious Sable, I think it's called. So I had originally picked this up on its own, and then I saw this at Nordstrom. I got both of them at Nordstrom. And it was $5 more and has two little lipsticks. Both are a red, which I'll wear when I go out here or there. But I'm not as big of a red lipstick person, but I thought for the $5 difference, I would use it. So these colors here are a great mix of, you've got your pinky tones, you've got a cream tone, you've got a peach tone, and then just a little bit darker. It's not a lot darker. I'm gonna start with a flat brush. I'm gonna go into that lightest one there, and I'm actually gonna put this all over my lid, and I go all the way from the inner corner up into the brow bone and out. Same thing on this side. Then I'm gonna take a more fluffy brush, and I go into the lower kind of pinky gray kind of undertone. Now, I do not go down low. I keep this right now up just on my brow bone, and I bring it in pretty far. I used to always keep all my makeup in the outer corner. Now I kind of do it the opposite, where I go and keep it closer to the inner part. Something about it just works right now for me. As I get older, I find too, the less kind of heavy looking makeup, the more natural looking ones kind of look a little bit better on me. So then I take a more dense brush and go into that little bit darker one there. And I'm just putting that right up at the top. And I just use what's on the brush and go back and forth until I decide if I need to add any more. I'm not going down into that outer corner. I just don't feel like I need that. Then I take that same fluffy brush I had used and I just blend that in. Then I take a smudger brush before I do any under eye concealer, anything, and I go right under my lash line. I find it makes it so I don't bring as much concealer as high, and I'm using the darker of these tones down here. Because as we get older, our makeup creases under our eyes and we have more fine lines under our eyes. And this makes it so I don't go up as high. Now I do take that, what's left, and I just go right in that outer corner. I'm not going all the way in. I'll touch down out there a little bit. Kind of connect it right at the lash line. Like I am just smudging it in there. I am not using this as a full liner. I just get that little bit of something in that outer corner. Now we're gonna go in with the concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. I hated this for so long and now I love it. And it's because I found the right color. And it's light medium honey. Now I do take this and kind of highlight those areas that I had used earlier. Now I start here. I don't go super high up. I use that same beauty blender. I don't go super high up on my forehead because I don't want to go into that. And then I go on this outer jawline into the ear area. It's really giving a little bit more of a chiseled look and more lifted look. Then I flip it over and I take that sponge. Again, that shadow there is making it so I don't go as high. Now I do use this in the outer corner, as you can see me lifting up in order to clean up anything on that outer corner. So I always saw people do their eyeshadow first and I was like, oh, I can't do it. I have to have like my face even first. And then I learned by doing it after my foundation, but not before the rest of it, it kind of works out for me. So then I take the Guerlain Prism Libre. The only thing I don't like about this is there's so much in the top. It's kind of hard. You have to get just a little bit and then put it here. And then I'm just gonna tap in. I start under my eyes and I'm using a smaller brush and I'm just tapping in. And then I'm doing that same thing over my nose, over my forehead. I go all the way up into the hairline and all the way around. I go in this outer area, the chin, go up under the nose, make sure I get the edges. Same thing on this side, just bringing it down. Then I've been going into this palette that holds these 3 colors to it. The pink one, I think is called Surreal Effect. I'm not sure if it's sold separately. That's the one I'm using, the brighter pink. tapping that off into an angled brush, and then I'm going right at that apple again and then bringing it up. So I don't want any more bronzer or contour. It just, at this time of year, does not work for me. So I'm flipping the brush over. Instead of going this way, I'm going this way. It brings it up higher rather than bringing it down lower. And then I take whatever's left and do that same little area right up there at the top of my hairline. Then I'm going to take a brush and the Laura Mercier Baked Matte Radiant Highlighter 01. And I've been taking this and going up and around, making a mess of my hair right there. Same thing on the other side. And I've been bringing it up to the top, so it's giving me just a little bit of a highlight on my brow bone. And I've been taking that same highlighter in a more dense brush and just putting a little bit in the inner corner. Then I take that same smudger brush I used earlier and just clean up under the eyes. Just make sure it looks good. Make sure I didn't take anything too much off, but also smudge it into that concealer, powder, anything that might be under my eyes. Now I get to the point where I actually just take an old towel and wipe off my lips because my lips start getting dry. I usually go in with my City Lips, the clear plumping gloss. Oh, this one's getting towards the end of its life. It's like, just a tiny bit left. I let that sit. So I do want to mention this. I'm getting ready to do my lashes, my lash curler, my Subversion lash primer, and my go-to Tarte Tartelette mascara. Recently, through QVC, they came out with the Tarte Tartelette in the XL version. Now, I've talked about this over on my Instagram. People are like, oh, the tube is just bigger. No, the tube is the exact same size. There is nothing different about the size of it. It is the mascara, and you guys know I love this. This is crazy. So I'm going to use this today and show you what it looks like. It's what I've been using since I got it. So we're going to curl our lashes, and I'll be back. Then I go in with my eyeliner. I've curled the lashes. So if you are someone who likes to use eyeliner on your waterline, tight line, whatever you want to call it, try this. I get it on Amazon. I think it's like $14 or $15. I have not used something else since I found this. It is crazy how good it is, how well it stays. I can't say enough good things about it. So I do go in with my Subversion lash primer first. It's just what works for me. So this duo I have been doing for many years now. Oh gosh, I got a clump of it. Of course I get a clump of it today when I'm recording, right? Isn't that the way it always goes? There we go, got rid of it. So I go through and coat the lashes with this. Now this is made to prime your lashes and get them ready for the mascara. I find that it is made also to like nourish them and help them so they don't break and so you don't have as many issues with your lash growth. I'm trying to separate these out here. And so I put it on both eyes. Then I'm going to go in with the Tartelette XL mascara. And I do it while that Subversion is still damp. And they really, really, really stick together. And this stuff, I literally now, sometimes when I'm putting mascara on, my lashes are touching my brow bone because they are that full, that long, that separated. That's one coat. That's crazy to me. This is my trouble side. This side always gives me trouble. And this side I always touch my, yep, see that? Just did it. I got some on my brow bone. This side I always struggle with. The lashes are longer on this side, but they are also not as full on this side, which is interesting. So if that ever happens to you, just let it sit. Don't try and wipe it off right away. Just let it sit until it's completely dry. Now I don't go back into the tube, but I do take what's left and kind of go through and separate out and try and make them as fluttery as I can. So now I'm going to take a Q-tip, some water, and I'm going to wipe off my brows. My brows are microbladed, so I just go through and use a wet Q-tip on it, and then I use the dry side and clean them up. After I've done that, I go through just with a clear gloss and brush them up. I don't have many hairs on my brows. That's also why they're microbladed, but I just go through and try and get the hairs so that they look a little bit better. Now those spots on my brow have dried. I'm just taking a dry Q-tip and touching it down to those, and look at that. Comes right off without any smudging. Do I have any on this side? Yep, I've got one there. Comes right off. Getting into my lips, I'm taking that same towel. I just wipe it off. I wipe that plumper off, and then I take whatever's left on that bronzing brush, go a little bit right under there, and a little bit right at the top of my lip. I'm mostly on my lip, but it gives just a little bit of shadow. Then I'm gonna use this Gucci lipstick that I recently got. It's something mauve, I think is the word. And I'm gonna go in, put my lipstick on. This side of my lip is always lower than this side. So I try to go a little bit higher with the lipstick itself. Then I take this Huda Beauty lip liner and I use this. I start on the bottom. I'm gonna have to stop talking. I start on the bottom and I work my way up. And I do the same thing on this side. Remembering on this side I have to go a little bit higher than what I think my natural lip line is. Same thing on the bottom. Then I take this lipstick. It's from Runway Rouge. It's called like Softbox, I think it is. And I just put it in the center. Gives me a little bit of kind of reflective property. And then I've been loving these like tinted lip balm things from Hourglass. I go over that just for a little bit of shine. It does have a tint to it, so you can totally use it on its own. Then I'm done. I'm gonna pull a couple pieces out from the side here, and I just have my hair back today in a little bun, and we are good to go. That is everything that I've been doing when I'm recording a video or going out or something like that to get a complete look. And it just has a little bit more smokiness, has a little bit more contour to it, and then has a little bit more to the lip. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions on any of the products, the colors, if you have a question on those, please let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a great weekend.